Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we are making oatmeal, which in the UK is known as porridge. I'm showing you guys 3 really tasty ways of doing it, and to be honest, they just happen to be vegan. So let's get straight into it. Completely honest with you, I didn't realise that a lot of people aren't making porridge very well. They're just making it really badly. I'm going to show you guys how I make porridge because I personally really enjoy it. I don't intentionally set out to make it a vegan meal, it does just happen to be vegan. I just prefer the taste when it's vegan. So yeah, don't let it being vegan put you off. These are super tasty. So as I'm pretty sure you guys already know, oatmeal is a super nutritious breakfast. It's full of fibre, such a good way to start your day. I'm going to be making 3 oatmeal flavours for you. The first one is going to be my favourite, which is a coconut porridge with a berry compote, which is really tasty. Second flavour is going to be a apple pie oatmeal, which to be honest, I completely just made up one morning. It's a really cold winter day and I really fancied kind of like apples and cinnamon. So I kind of made up this kind of apple pie inspired oatmeal, which is really tasty. And then the third one is going to be kind of a random one, but it's a combo that I think goes really well. I'm going to mix some bananas into the oatmeal. Then I'm going to top it with some dark chocolate, and personally I just think it tastes really good. So that's the 3 oatmeal flavours that we're going to go for. These are my favourite oats. They are, how you say them is a great question. I want to say it's flavours. Oh, I don't know. They're Irish, so I don't really know how to say them. I don't know. These are my favourite oats. They just come out so creamy. I've actually had them with water before and they still turn out so creamy. It's not necessarily to do with the milk. These oats are genuinely super tasty. I know these are obviously available in the UK, but to be honest, they probably won't be available worldwide. But if you're in the UK, these oats are absolutely amazing. I always try and get these ones. But any oats will do. Try and get kind of whole oats. I usually find that if you get kind of oats that are all broken down, it's usually not going to come out very well. They're just not going to taste great. So try and get kind of whole oats. They're going to be a lot nicer. And in this recipe, as already mentioned, it is a vegan recipe, so I am using different types of milk. I'm going to be using this coconut milk by Rude Health in the UK. Absolutely love this company. They are so good. This specific coconut milk is like my favorite. It's got kind of little chunks of coconut cream in it. It's so tasty. I can literally drink this one straight. I'm also going to be using some soya milk, which I'm not too fussy about soya milk, to be honest. I only have soya milk in porridge. I personally think soya milk is great in porridge. I think it works in there really well. But other than oatmeal, soya milk, I don't really use it in anything. I hate it in coffee, I hate it in tea. I'm not really too keen on soya milk, but in oatmeal, it is great. Okay, and then finally, in the third porridge, I'm gonna be using my homemade almond milk, which I'm a little bit obsessed with at the minute. It's super easy to make. I'm gonna be releasing a video on this soon, but this almond milk is absolutely amazing. I've also got some oat milk in my fridge, which is good, but almond milk is fab, I promise you. So I'm gonna be using this in one of the recipes, I'm gonna be using my coconut milk in one of the recipes, and I'm gonna be using my soy milk in one of the recipes. Obviously, you can switch it around, it's no big deal. You can use cow's milk, you can use water. I personally think water's kind of bland and not very tasty, but if you wanna do that, definitely do it. As I'm doing 3 different flavors of oatmeal, I personally think these ones go best with that kind of flavor that I'm gonna be doing. But I'm gonna show you kind of my preferred way of doing it, but obviously switch it around, use different milks, do different flavors. You can just use these recipes kind of as a base and be flexible with it and kind of just steal little bits from each recipe and put it together. Okay, so one thing that I know a lot of people struggle with when it comes to oatmeal is getting the right quantity. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, I've never in my life weighed oatmeal. I do it by eye, but I know for a lot of people that's gonna be very difficult. I've done some research and the recommended serving size is 30 grams. So that right there is 30 grams. And I just think 30 grams is very small. So I kind of weighed out what I'd usually do, and I think I'd usually do about 40 to 50 grams, but I'm not a health specialist, and obviously it's gonna completely vary between each person, but I'm probably gonna suggest about 50 grams. That, to me, looks a lot better. So I do make all of my porridge on the hob in a saucepan. I know that a lot of people like to make their oatmeal in the microwave, which I'm not really too keen on, to be honest. I don't even own a microwave, so I always make it on the hob and it always comes out absolutely amazing. So let's start by making the berry compote for the coconut and berry porridge. So I personally think blueberries are so good in little kind of berry compotes. I just think they melt down so well and they give it a beautiful color. I've got just a couple strawberries and a little handful of raspberries. Blueberries, don't worry about doing doing anything with them. Raspberries, you can, to be honest, you can just peel these apart just so they're a little bit smaller. So it means they're gonna cook a little bit quicker. And then the strawberries, just take the tops off them all and make them a little bit smaller. Just tiny little chunks. So you just want it all to be in really small little chunks. Okay, then you just wanna put it all into a saucepan. So to the berries, you just want to add a couple tablespoons of water. I'm using boiling water just to make the process go quicker, but you can use tap water. It's just gonna take a minute to heat up. So just add that in there. Literally a tablespoon or two, just to kind of get it all cooking a little bit quicker. The water's just gonna kind of help it all break down and turn it into a bit more of a compote, as opposed to just cooked fruit. I'm also gonna add a tiny little pinch of sugar, just to sweeten it slightly, because sometimes it can be a little bit bitter. If you want, you can add a little bit of sugar or a little bit of honey or something like that to sweeten it, but let's get this on the hob. We're gonna do it nice and high, just until all the fruit is kind of combined and it's turned into a nice compote. I've added the oats and now I'm just gonna add the coconut milk. I've added about 250 milliliters. So my key to making oatmeal is you just wanna use a really, really low heat and you wanna constantly mix it. You really wanna take your time with oatmeal. You don't wanna rush it. I like to cook it for at least a good 8 to 10 minutes, just on like a low to medium heat. And you're gonna just slowly see the oatmeal just kind of really soften up. It's gonna slowly become a really lovely texture. It's gonna come out a ton better than cooking it really quickly on a high heat. Okay, so I've got my oatmeal to kind of like the desired texture. I usually find that kind of midway through cooking, I like to add another maybe like about 50 milliliters of milk. I'm gonna loosen it up a little bit. I don't like my oatmeal too stodgy. I've got my berry compote right here, which smells amazing. So I'm just gonna add the oatmeal. Obviously this isn't a bowl that I'd normally eat out of. I just thought I'd present it in this. Okay, so I've got the oatmeal and the berry compote. I'm literally just gonna put some on the top like this. Oh, it looks beautiful. And kind of like make a well in the middle, let it really like sink down in there. And then I'm just gonna top it with some coconut flakes and a little pinch of chia seeds, just like that. Okay, so that is how you make literally my favorite porridge. It's a coconut porridge with a berry compote and coconut flakes on top. It's so, so tasty. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Okay, so now we're gonna do the apple pie flavor. Same quantity of oats and liquid. This time I'm gonna use my homemade almond milk. I think it goes really well with the apple pie flavor. But you can obviously use any almond milk that you have. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna add about half an apple. Sometimes I think that a whole apple is a little bit much, so sometimes I eat the other half or add it on top. So now I'm just chopping an apple into kind of little chunks like this, and then I'm gonna chuck it straight into the pan. Not too big because obviously you want them to cook. Okay, so I've got the oats, the almond milk, and the apple in there. I'm now gonna add about half a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. In regards to cinnamon, I'd really recommend trying to get hold of some Saigon cinnamon. It's super tasty, it's such good quality. It's literally the tastiest cinnamon you're ever gonna try. It's so, so good. And now what I'm doing is I'm just breaking apart some dates, taking the seed out. You definitely don't want that in there. So the almond milk isn't too sweet. I'm just gonna break 2 dates up into small pieces and add that to the pan. So that's gonna really nicely sweeten the porridge, and every now and then you're gonna get a really nice chewy bit piece of date in there. But obviously you don't have to use the dates if you don't want to. You could just chuck some honey in there or something like that to sweeten it up. But I personally love dates and they taste so good in there. Okay, so I've got the oats, the almond milk, the dates, the apple, the cinnamon, all in here. I'm gonna cook this nice and slowly for about 8 to 10 minutes, as per all of the recipes. Okay, so the apple pie oatmeal is done and it smells amazing. I absolutely love cinnamon. I do find this one it does take a fair bit more liquid in there, and if you want the apples to be completely soft, it is gonna take an extra kind of 3, 4, even 5 minutes longer just to make sure the apples are completely soft. You can also grate the apple in there because that will make it kind of cook a lot quicker and you don't have chunks of apple in there. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pop this in a bowl. Okay, and then this one you can just top with kind of really thin matchsticks of apple. Like that looks cute. And then finally a tiny pinch of cinnamon. Oh, that looks beautiful. There you go, and that is my second flavour of porridge, just an apple pie inspired oatmeal. Really, really good for the winter time, and it's so, so tasty. Okay, so let's go for the third and final flavour. So I'm gonna add the oats in the pan, get them ready. Okay, so this is the banana and peanut butter porridge. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get about 3/4 of a banana. Again, I think a whole banana is a little bit too much, so I'm gonna eat that bit. And with this banana, I'm just gonna take out the skin and mush it up like this. I like to mush it up because it kind of flavours the whole porridge. It's not gonna go brown as long as you cook it straight away. So I just mush up the banana like this, and then I'm just gonna pop it in with the oats. For this recipe, I like to use soy milk. So again, I'm gonna add 200 milliliters of soy milk, but you know, as I said, give or take, you can add less, you can add more, depending on kind of what consistency you'd like. So I'm now gonna add about a tablespoon of peanut butter. I like this one because it's only got a few ingredients in there and it tastes great. I also like crunchy, but you can go smooth, you know, just do what you prefer. Again, 8 to 10 minutes on the hob, and I'll show you what it's like afterwards. Okay, now we have the third and final flavour, which is a banana and peanut butter porridge. Again, it smells so good with peanut butter. Okay, so I really like to top this one with some really good quality dark chocolate. Just kind of cut it really thin. Again, kind of like matchstick, kind of like the shape of matchsticks, so it melts on top. And then I'm just gonna pour it on top like that. Beautiful. And it's gonna melt and it's gonna be super tasty. And obviously, high quality dark chocolate with a high cocoa percentage is really not that unhealthy for you. This is, I believe this is 70%, so that's really not too bad. Okay, so I'm just gonna top this one off with some finely chopped peanuts, just to make it look a little pretty, just a little bit like that. There you go, and that's how you make a beautiful peanut butter and banana porridge with dark chocolate on top. So this one's kind of a little bit higher in protein, still super, super tasty. And if you love peanut butter, and you're going to absolutely love this one. Okay, so here we have the coconut porridge with the berry compote. Here we have the apple pie inspired oatmeal, and here we have the banana and peanut butter porridge with dark chocolate. Oatmeal doesn't need to be boring. These are all so, so tasty. There you go, and that is 3 super, super tasty, really healthy ways of making porridge at home. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope you give these recipes a go because they are so tasty, so good for you. Thank you guys so, so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.